We're looking at specification 1.1.3, development of the model of the atom. So, before the electron was discovered, elements were thought to be tiny spheres. And when they developed the idea that there's electrons, these negatively charged subatomic particles within the nucleus, that led them to the idea of a plum pudding model. They kept the sphere idea, but inside the sphere they had tiny electron charges, tiny negative charges, embedded within the sphere. You need to know the plum pudding model is a solid sphere with electrons embedded. Now, the result from the alpha particle scattering experiment, the gold leaf experiment by Ernest Rutherford, led to the understanding of there's a concentrated charge in the centre of the atom, and they called this the nucleus. But they also realised there was space in between the atoms. Now, Niels Bohr came up with a suggestion that he said that the electrons orbit the nucleus at a certain distance. Now, he had theoretical calculations, but they agreed with the experimental observations. So you've got an idea, a theory, and you've got the observations experimentally, and when they combine and they agree with each other, then that's what adds weight to a scientific discovery. So that's what Niels Bohr came up with, and it was the atomic model or the nuclear model. The idea there's a nucleus, a concentrated charge in the centre of an atom, and you've got electrons at certain distances from the nucleus. Now, experiments then went on to lead to look at the nucleus in more detail, and it noticed there was a certain amount of positive charges within that nucleus for each atom. Each different atom had a different number of positive charges, and they called them the protons. The positive charge in the nucleus was called the proton. It blows my mind, but 20 years after James Chadwick first suggested it, the evidence came to prove him correct that there were also other charges, so other subatomic particles in the nucleus that didn't have a charge, and they were called neutrons. And that was 20 years after the proposal was put forward by James Chadwick in the first place.